Good morning, students. Welcome to the Checkpoint Online Sessions. I'm Mr. Charles, and I'll be with you for the second lesson of Week 4. Please go to your workbook, Unit 5, Facing the Future. Let's pick from where we left off. Question 7, page 35. Again, as always, you may pause the video to solve all the questions from 7 till 10. They should take you about 30 to 40 minutes. Or for every question you can pause, try to solve it, and then unpause or continue, so you would see your answer. For question 7, say what effect the style gives in each sentence in the pairs below. So each pair more or less mean the same thing, but it's different wording, different style. So when you hear, for example, AI, what different about it does it make to say II or A2? So for A1, never again. A2, I decided that I would never go there again. And the difference would be the never again is a definitive decision. It sounds like, because it's short, it sounds like a definitive decision, something that is final. But when you say I decided that I would never go there again, this looks like or sounds like a more measured reaction after consideration. Decided consideration, and I would never go there again. So this is a something that you've thought about long and hard. After you considered it, then you've done it. For B, number 1, chicken and chips. And then B, number 2, succulent, golden roasted, farm fresh breast of chicken, accompanied by crispy French fries. Well, you would find B1. This is a phrase found on a menu. You would find it on menu because it needs to be short. This, they say chicken and chips, let's say 10,000 Iraqi dinars. And then under it, you would find the description of that meal. And it is very vivid, very clear, very thorough, so that you want to order that. They give adjectives as well as nouns for the material in that dish for you to be mouth watered. C1, he crossed the room, and C2, he crept stealthily across the room. So crossing the room, this is a statement, this is a fact. He crept stealthily across the room. He still crossed the room, but crept, the past of creep, and stealthily, so almost without being seen across the room. This has a connotation of something harmful about to be done, or something of harmful outcome. D1, it is a mistake, a huge one, not to think before you speak. And 2, it is a huge mistake not to think before you speak. The first one, the parentheses, are used for emphasis. So when you say it's a mistake, listen how we say it. It's a mistake, a huge one, not to think before you speak. So the existence of parentheses is to add emphasis. For you to say it's a huge mistake not to think before you speak, this sounds still the same idea, but this sounds less emotive, less of an emotive language, less sentiment, less encouraging into what you want. E1, don't even think about doing such a crazy thing. E2, you should not even consider acting so foolishly. The first one, don't even think. This is imperative. This is command. You should not even consider. This sounds more of an advice. It is a strict advice, since it's a forceful advice, since you're saying you should not, but it's still mostly a piece of advice, not a command, as in number 1. F, he got up at 6 a.m. and left. And F2, at cockcrow he rose from his bed and set forth. You guessed it, the second one is archaic, not used anymore style. But the first one, again, just a statement, a fact. Again, they both almost mean the same because at cock crow, it's not specifically 6 o'clock in the morning, but it is early in the morning. And to leave is the same as to set forth. But the word set forth, or this expression, to mean be gone, to mean to get up and go, is archaic, is old, not used anymore. G number one, a tall, thin figure opened the door. G number two, a towering skeletal person opened the door. The second one, you would find it more frightening. Towering skeletal person, someone who's very thin, almost like a skeleton. But the first one, neutral expression or neutral description. The second one sounds more of like a descriptive, frightening descriptive story. Question 8. Use the future perfect tense, will have plus active or passive past participle in the gaps in the following sentences. A. By the time they leave school, most students blank visit several major cities. So remember how we use the future perfect tense or how we form it? It is will have plus active or passive V3 past participle. And it is used to express certain specific dates in the future that an action will be completed by then. For example, the pictures, he will have retired by the time he's 60. Future, he is 60. And definite, specific time, by the time he's 60. So we are specific on what's the date or what's the time frame of this action is going to happen. The retiring, it's him turning 60. So whenever you want to speak about a future event of a specific date, you know when it's going to happen, use future perfect. Little Miss Future Perfect, what will you be when you grow up? Don't you mean what will you have become? Never mind, I think I know. Maybe an English teacher or an English literate? A. By the time they leave school, most students will have visited several major cities. B. I don't think the mail blank arrive by the time we get back from home. So will have plus V3. The decision whether to go see or stay blank be a difficult one to make. Will have been a difficult one to make. The repairs to the school, D, blank due by the start of next week. This one should be in passive form, will have been done. Because you have the object at the beginning, the repairs to the school will have been done. We don't know who's going to do it, we just know that the object of the action is going to be completed. E, I blank finish my course by the time or the next time I see you. It should be have, I will have finished, but some people say I shall have finished as well, and this one's correct too. For question 9, we're going to skip this one as together. You do it individually, and you just form 5 sentences using future perfect. Basically, subject, will, have, and V3. Decide if you want it as a active or passive past participle. Question 10. Read the passage below about dreaming. Research has shown that when someone is in the REM, which is rapid eye movement, stage of sleep, they're probably dreaming. It is known that we dream in color. Although some dreams involve doing something bizarre, many are about something very ordinary, like taking a taxi. If a loud noise is made or a light shone on the face of someone asleep, it is likely that these stimuli will be incorporated into their dream. What is absolutely certain is that we have many more dreams than we think, although only a tiny number stay with us. even if we happen to wake up during a dream. However, something can happen later to trigger the memory of the dream, such as seeing a person who took part in it, so that when or we then say, I had a dream about you recently, or an event occurring which corresponds to the dream, so that we think, I saw this in my dream. Then it will seem as though the dream was prophetic, but in reality, it is just a coincidence and the laws of probability at work. Sleep scientists have discovered that we have an average of 4 dreams each night, each one lasting about 20 minutes, with at least an hour's gap between them. 80% of our dreams are negative and focus on fears and disasters. Bad news is far more likely than good news to cause a bad dream, since it evokes subconscious anxiety, which emerges during sleep time. The first task is to extract the points from the passage above in note form, and we should extract only facts. The second task is to put numbers and arrows next to the notes to arrange them in a logical order and to show which ideas can be connected in the same sentence. Together, we'll extract the facts right now, and then you order them in which or in the logical outcome you think is possible. The first fact is that when someone is in the REM, so when you see someone sleeping and they are moving their eyes under their eyelashes, they are probably dreaming. So this is the first fact. Someone in the REM, so they are dreaming. The second fact is that we dream in color. We see colorful dreams, not black and white. The third fact is that dreams involve something bizarre or something ordinary. They don't all have to be something strange. Sometimes just taking a taxi. The fourth fact is that a noise or a light will be incorporated into the dream. So if someone is sleeping and you make noise next to them or you shed some light on them, this would be or will be incorporated into their dreams in some way. This will manifest in their dreams in some way. The fifth fact is that only a small number of dreams stay with us. So basically we have a lot of dreams, but only a tiny number is remembered. The sixth fact is that some things trigger memories, an event occurring which corresponds to the dream. And this will make the dream seem prophetic, as if it's a prophecy, as if this event, the dream made it come true. The eighth fact is that we have an average of 4 dreams each night, and each one lasts about 20 minutes with at least 1 hour's gap between them. The final fact is that 80% of our dreams are negative and focus on fears and disasters. Bad news are more likely to happen bad news are more likely than good news to cause a bad dream for us in that night, since it evokes our anxiety, our subconscious anxiety. And this does not manifest in our wake-up time, this manifests in our sleep. So we see this awful result of this bad news in our sleep as a bad dream. C, we have to write a 1-paragraph summary about dreaming. This is a typical checkpoint question of before the writing section, before section B, is that you have to summarize sometimes paragraphs, a single paragraph, or multiple paragraphs into 1 paragraph. So this one, since in the first tasks they asked us to extract facts first, so our paragraph summary should be about facts. Rapid eye movement. Basically, gather what facts we extracted into a coherent paragraph. Rapid eye movement in sleep usually indicates that someone's dreaming. We dream in color, and noise and light around the sleeper can infiltrate their dream, can penetrate, can enter their dream. The average is 4 dreams per night, though they are not long or continuous. Dreams are not actually prophetic and not usually about extraordinary events, but the majority are disturbing as a result of the daytime anxieties. Although we remember a few of our dreams, meeting with someone who was in one of them can be a reminder. Your summary does not have to be the exact same, but if you include only the facts and you link them properly and you link them well, then you would have a high score. Then you would have a high achievement of this task. We're done for today. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and keep up your good work.